Okay, so once the installation is done, it will ask you to reboot the system, and you rebooted, and you will come back to this screen. And it will also prompt you that if you have any installation media, remove the installation media. If it has not already been removed, so before rebooting you can go to settings, and inside that you have CD DVD drive. You can just uncheck this, so it will not connect the virtual CD-ROM drive with this ISO. Otherwise what happens is in the next boot it will again go and do an installation. So the installation is complete, the device gets rebooted without removing the CD drive. It might install it, but by default it does removes it. Sometimes if there is a glitch and it doesn't removes it, then you have to follow this installer. Instead of proceeding with the installations, just shut it down, the virtual machines from here, shut down, and then remove this disk. Now this is done. You can go ahead and test out your virtual machines. Select the username, give the password. So terminal is coming up now. Since it's a virtual machine, so it will take a little bit of more time compared to my Mac, but let's just give it a couple of seconds. Okay, so this is the first time screen. I don't want to configure the cloud and single sign-on, all those things. So I'll just press on next, continue, and then I'm done. Okay, now we will open the terminal. So select on this icon, so applications, search on app terminal, and we will be doing all the work from the terminal perspective. So we will have to install a couple of packages, dev packages, and those dev packages which I was talking about are like GCC compiler, make, build essentials, those things. So first you do is sudo apt-get -y update, and what this will do is whatever your release version of Ubuntu is there, it will bring up the latest patch on that. So the version might have been released 2 months back or 3 months back, and if there are any security fixes or important fixes or any updates, it will just do those updates. So it's always good to do the update first before doing any installation. Since this is a relatively new distributions, Ubuntu 20.04, so there is not much. If you'd have installed 18.10 or 16.04, you might see a lot more updates. So there's no updates here, so that's fine. Now then go ahead and do a sudo apt-get -y install, and -y means when it install the package, it will ask you, I have to install this many packages, do you accept? So -y means you don't prompt me to ask those, you accept it. Yes, go ahead and install it. So I'll say GCC, G++, sometimes G++ comes separately, Valgrind, then your GDB, your make utilities, and build essential. We can install a couple of package and even Vim. So you can go ahead and install that. If you don't know the name of a package, just do a Google how to install Vim in Ubuntu, and if you do a search in search engines like DuckDuckGo, which I prefer over Google, it will give you a response. You can do a Google also if you like it. Similarly, if you want to install any other package, just search with the name and you should be able to do that. Sometimes even typing a command, Ubuntu will give you the options that this package is present in this and you have to install this particular package. So it will give you those options. Once the package installation is being done, you should not do any other package installation. It has to be sequential because it takes a lock, and if you try to do another installations, it will just keeps hanging there, sitting there without doing anything. SSH is not there on this device. I don't know the name of a package, how to install SSH. So I will just say SSH, and you see SSH. Okay, this particular distribution already has the SSH, but if the SSH were not there, or maybe SSHD, I don't need the client, I need a server. See, SSHD is not there. It has given me how to install, so I'll just run this command and I should be good to go. And if I run, it will ask me yes or no. This is what I am saying. Do you want to continue? It will install these packages. I would say yes. If you give a minus option, sudo apt-get -y, apt-get and apt are almost same for all practical purpose, so let's not go into the details of that. So sudo apt -y install, if you give, then it will not ask you, it will go ahead and install it. So now our Ubuntu has a SSH also ready. Now a couple of options we will look. So while this is going on, let's go back to the screen, Ubuntu screen. So this is where the virtual machine library is there. We have the main window. Now if I want to share some folder from my Mac to Windows, I can use the shared folders. So let's go here, select my virtual machines, go to settings. In the settings, I will have a sharing and I will enable shared folders, and I'll have to give which folder I want to share. Let's suppose I give a folder called as download on my Mac, and shared folders will not be available in virtual machines until VMware Tools is installed. So it's asking me to install VMware Tools. So how do I install VMware Tools? So you go here and then there is an option called as reinstall VMware Tools. So it has already installed a version. Sometimes it installs default, but it may not work. So we'll see why. So now we have given a shared folder. Now if you see here mnthgf, it's already downloaded. If you are in other versions like 18 or 16, there is still a glitch. I have seen this happening many times. In that case, what you can do is you can go ahead to the virtual machines. If the reinstall VMware Tools is already highlighted, click on that. It will pop up a menu here similar to this. There will be an icon for virtual CD-ROM. Click on that and install it. After installation, reboot, and you will see here that the files are available. So if you see here, these are the files which are available on my Mac. These are from the Mac. So if I open this file says currently this is a test file. Now I will say data written from Linux virtual machine, and mind it, this is a full virtual machine. It's not some kind of a emulation or anything. So you will have everything. You can compile the kernel also, everything. It's not like a Windows subsystem for Linux. In Windows subsystem for Linux, it's just a translation layer. The kernel remains of the Windows and it acts like a Linux. But here it's not like, it's like a native Linux which goes through the hypervisor. So all the Linux kernel modules, everything will remain as it is depending upon whatever the hardware you have. So now go to the download folder on my host machine. This is my Mac terminal, and in the Mac terminal I have this file test which I have modified. So if I say cat, earlier there were one line, this is a test file. Now data written from the Linux machine, which I have written here, data written from the Linux machine. So that's all for this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. You have a nice time. Bye.